Hey there, everyone. I am Thakard, and welcome back to more Starfield. So last time we did the first part of the Crimson Fleet mission, and we also did a little side mission too. And I ended trying to figure out what I would do next, and I would say that I, spent some time discerning the meaning of life and all this stuff. I flipped a coin. And so we are going to go and do the Terramorphs. So we're going to be headed back to Mast on New Atlantis? On Jemison? So yeah. So we will be continuing with Eyewitness for right now. Let's take a nap. I think we should be able to travel straight to Mast.
Rest well, I hope?
You know what? I wonder how many people we can fit on this ship. I wonder where some of the people that I had on this ship are at. I need more people on my ship. How much of, my crew can I get on the ship? I think I'm going to go talk to Sam, see if he'll hop on the ship again. That way I can have all the characters I want to go and do missions with and do their backstory, actually have them with me.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
Yes. Or hang on a second, can I just do that through here? I might be able to do this through here. Dooring fan. Ship. Sam. Or put him on the ship. Current ship command level. Yeah, these guys are just... Don't know where that is. Maybe that's a place that got attacked. I don't know why I would have had a security mini-bot anywhere. So hang on a second. There's a command level? I have piloting. Shield systems. If I'm going to build my own ship, I need more of this stuff, don't I? There's a targeting mode? I didn't even know that. I just target by myself. By myself? By myself. Alright, we've maxed that. So where's this? Oh, here's the targeting thing. Oh. Huh. Okay. Ah, that's interesting. Don't know if it's actually helpful. Oh, that... Ooh. Okay, when I read payload, I thought that was like how many missiles I could hold. I was thinking payload as in a weapons payload and not a cargo payload. This we have to do. We definitely have to do that. Starship engineering. Repair. Okay. Robotics. Oh. Oh, that could be cool. Build a ship that has automatic weapons. Well, that could be really, really cool. So hang on a second. If it's not in tech, is it in like social? Could be. Oh, ship command. There it is. Okay. Leadership. I really don't care about how much. Oh, never mind. I was like, I don't care about how much affinity they gain. I really don't. But this, on the other hand, well, that's kind of nice too. All right. This is the best one there. Them being able to haul more stuff is awesome. I need 3 more points in this. Okay. All right. Let's do things, guys. Let's do things.
Captain, over here.
Sup?
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier.
Don't really care.
In the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC.
I killed your parents.
More complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
You're a clone of a man? I'm gonna ask it.
A non-trivial amount of gene editing.
I'm assuming it was so they could hide that he was a clone.
The right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
Okay.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war.
Ah.
The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Fair enough. So you're using me to distract them. Great. I thought my family was messed up.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Let's do this.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
Sounds like us. Now to walk slower than the NPC in front of me. You know, the fact that that's still a thing, it's like, it's a bug that's become a feature to them. I kind of hate that. Because I would really like to walk the same speed as the NPCs.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Ooh, we gotta go on the top floor. Nice. Are there windows up here? Yes, there are. And I can't see out of them because either it's foggy up here or they're glazed. Oh, wow. All of a sudden I am getting like Mass Effect 1 flashbacks standing in front of the council.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today.
Shut it, you
So
sin.
now,
You seen?
we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar
That might take
Collective,
a
and
minute.
House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Find a way to stop a possible Terramorph apocalypse. That's a little grandiose. Just here to talk about what happens.
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab.
All
by
of a
the
sudden,
daughter of
screaming
bloodthirsty
comes from the
warmonger and
outside.
her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no
Good
doubt,
lines.
the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Nah, I killed it pretty easily.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
See, this is so the whole conversation up to this point has been good, but this question is stupid. Because why would you ask a person who is in a subordinate role? Well, if you were in my position, what was your... No, that's stupid. That's bad writing. That is bad writing. There should be like another couple lines of questions, and then they should go, let us talk it over, and then they just make a decision. Not, well, you tell us what you want us to do. That's stupid. Get that out of there.
Listen,
I'm
compose your
uncomfortable opening
You
the
let us know when
archives
you're
without
ready.
gathering more information. However, if that's the path forward you prefer, then so be it.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
And see, that's stupid.
You
That's
and I are in agreement,
bad
Chief
writing.
Diplomat.
That's bad
So,
writing.
if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown.
Those snap down really quick.
Incident. Chief
Terramorph.
Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Outside of the
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself.
and it's going to be me doing the work,
The
isn't
Dino
it?
squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on.
Nice!
Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know how you're covering this one up. Well, I do like that though. Okay, that was a small bit of like not story but story. It's like you're getting to the elevator while soldiers are rushing off to defend the council. That was a nice bit of non-dialogue story.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
That's it.
So people are all of a sudden just panicking? EM rifle.
Now hit him with everything you've got.
Trying to help you! Scratch one over here! Let's see if they've got anything worth taking.
What happened?
Thank you for what you did. We didn't.
So EM puts him down?
hurt them.
Doesn't kill him?
The way
Nice.
those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't
Oh,
they?
great. That's terrifying.
I don't know.
They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there...
See, this is bad
we
voice
couldn't
acting.
restrain them fast enough.
You know, there's
Just
good and there's bad.
started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph.
Okay, these things
you
are
break the hold.
stronger
But this means we're gonna need to be real
than I was
careful with
expecting.
our fire. And keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Alright.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Eef. Oof. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, overall that was pretty well voice acted. The diplomat was a little, but he was okay.
Something's out there.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good.
Alright, that's doing nothing.
Captain, you're going to be okay. Not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now is not real. We have to put down that
We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said
Okay.
you've done this before.
Yes.
Well, got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those
Of
things down and
course.
do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Alright. This is our new big one. We'll use this to loosen them up a little bit. Do I have a aid to do physical? I'm assuming these guys are doing physical. Damage resistance, that'll work. Okay. Oh, we're supposed to talk to this guy for some reason? Speak to the fire team. Alright, we'll speak to the fire team.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
Once you're watching our backs, we'll handle this. You two stay put. See, I'm gonna choose this option, but what if they had worded this with, we'll handle this, don't let them, you know, you two stay here, don't let them get past you. It's like, okay, we failed, you guys are the last line.
Your call. We're on the line.
Or he said that they're on the line, you know, but it's like, if we had just said, we got this, you're the last line, you stay here. You know, it's like that would have been
Find anything
better.
useful? 'Cause 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 '
stings.
Nice. All right, let's grab that one gun back. I don't have it as my favorite right yet. I might. It hits pretty hard. Always behind the boxes. Still behind the boxes. Really, how many damn boxes is this guy going to be behind? All of them, apparently. Wow, what the hell happened over here? But they just burst from the ground? Damn it, Sarah, get out of the way! Why are you always in the way of my sniper shots? Sarah, out of the way. Oh, that's my friend. Okay. I was like, who the hell is that? Alright, there we go. Terramorphs dealt with.
Target down.
These are
work, Captain.
different colored Terramorphs.
Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Yes, yes, yes. All that. But anything in here? Oh, it's all stealing. Yeah. Alright, let's go report in. I understand they're kind of leveled. I guess they wanted me to do this story back in my 30s. But I wish, I kind of wish, I don't know. Yeah, I wish they were a little more difficult. They kind of dropped a little too easy.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. The universe put the right people in the right place.
You all held the line. You're the heroes today, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
We got here and we helped out.
I
but
don't
you-
want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
All right. It does seem a little sus that as we're...
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
It does seem a little bit sus that as we're talking it, they come under attack by Terramorphs that are different colors for one reason or another. Perhaps that could have been done better as well. I mean, it was really, really clear that there was going to be a Terramorph attack, you know? Cliched. And now they'll be like, oh, yeah, he needs all the help we can get.
Nothing's getting to the cabinet.
Yeah, how would I have done that differently? I think maybe I would have had it happen exact same time. Gone, okay, it's like, before we do this, we need a little bit of additional information. So go to this other planet and then do a thing. And maybe have the attack occur while we're off planet. I mean, it was nice defeating them by ourselves. But I think if it's like they go, all right, go check out this. We have reports of a Terramorph attack on this planet. You go there, you do that. While you're gone, when you return, you find everything in shambles, you know? And maybe more people die here, you know? I think that would have been a much better story element.
Alive. Goddamn. I'd hate to see the Terramorph.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
See, I would be even more suspicious. It's like, okay, you're here telling us the Terramorphs are a threat, and then all of a sudden we come under attack. Like I said, I would have rewritten it, but
of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major.
Well, if we're going to be playing
the data in hand, we want you investigating
Mass
these
Effect,
attacks
can I be
and how to
commander?
stop them.
I understand
this?
I'm already a captain, but
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective
I'm going to be a
House of
Spectre
Ruin to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Oh, of course. I can't be your representative, just a Vanguard? Nobody. Yeah, we're just gonna say yes.
In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the
Yay!
data.
We get to buy a house.
Will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending
Make me
you
a
in
Spectre.
without the proper support. Deputy
being a
McIntyre
Spectre?
in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Okay, so we've basically been given.
Start
Okay.
getting a plan together for that data.
All right. So we basically just got, you know, the carte blanche of the Spectre thing like you would get from Mass Effect. Except we didn't get the epic music and the sweeping camera angles as they're making you a Spectre, you know? All the people gathering on the railings going, it's the first human Spectre, you know? So yeah, missed that part. It has the same feeling.
A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
So this person is the loadout officer from Mass Effect where we get our first couple of cool suits.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives
voice
are,
acting,
correct?
the voice acting and the animations for her face are slightly off.
It was a mutual agreement, but I suppose you touch on the spirit of it. So, you also know then that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes.
I'm already a ranger, so
Get them both and
should
you'll
be
have your
easier,
data.
I would think.
But that's a lot easier said than done.
I just need some electrodes, a tooth extractor, and some sodium pentothal. Nice.
It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
The top of the list, and we'll work
Ambassador
down.
Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be dealing with this ambassador.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows?
I wonder
Maybe
if
that'll work.
me being a ranger
Stranger
will
things
help.
have happened. But my
That'd be cool if
suspicion
it does.
is we're going to
I
have
would
to
like that.
rely on
Definitely like that.
other tools to get her code.
No one can be that stubborn. All right.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living
Of
quarters.
course you do.
Which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick
Who-
way to
who's she
land
banging?
yourself in an embassy holding cell.
Yeah, who she's
So,
banging.
If you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's
Not
also
more.
a
Oh
disgruntled
no, it's,
staff member you
please
might
tell
be
me
able to
it's
pump
not
for information.
another,
Maybe even convinced to work with you.
it's not another stealth mission.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC.
The voice
He
is
works
different.
closely with the ambassador.
The
making
voice
him a
is
promising
different.
source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some
The
options.
voice
on how to
changed
proceed.
again. All right.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
House Varun are people just like us.
Well said. There's no reason to assume they're any worse than us, despite their cultural beliefs.
Of course. But there is another wrinkle.
Okay.
We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances
all
are
right.
always rare.
Well, that's a thing.
It's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly
if there are
but
snakes
firmly
inside that
remind him
building,
of
I
his
am going
duties
to
under
be
the armistice.
super pissed. All right.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access.
Okay.
Here. This device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Okay, what about my cool Spectre's gear? Oh, hang on a second. Maybe this will work. Permanently reduces fuel needed for a grav jump by additional 1%. Not overly super duper, but we will take it.
Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Looking for any... I want that. I want that. I want that poster. The chemical formula for caffeine. That looks amazing. All right. It's gonna be it for this episode, everyone.
Yes?
I'm just checking to see if there is like any more magazines. Nope. Okay. So that's going to be it for today. Slightly shorter episode, but it's a decent place to stop before we start talking to everyone else. So we will, you know what? I'm just going to sit down over here. We're going to hit save, and we will pick this up next time. You all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Hello, Sarah. Right up in my face.